Hello, this is The Way of Fairness. My name is Stephen Childs. When I was probably like 5 years old, the neighbor girl, same age as me, came over. My mom had arranged with her mom, I'm sure, for us to play in the sand pile at my place. They was the next door neighbors. And the little girl started telling me how that we were going to arrange the waterways and the roads and so forth. And so she was mad because I disagreed with how she wanted it done. And I was thinking, well, it's my sand pile, so, and she doesn't want to do it the way I want it done. So I decided I'd rather not have a friend and just be alone than have to be told what to do. So I told her that it was time for her to go home. And there's something similar going on. See, I'm like totally celibate. I don't even want to be turned on. So when I'm going through YouTube, I'm like hurrying past anything that has sexual appeal to it, because I don't want to be aroused at all. Zero. I don't want to play. So the same thing's happening. They will get mad. The females will get mad because I don't want to play their game that's already set up, where the male jumps through the hoops to get the female. And that's fine. If if you want to play that game, then that's what you have to do. You have to play that game, but you don't have to play that game. You can play a different game. So there's some other power involved here. A tyrannical, I talked about this earlier on another video, is all it wants to do is stay in power over the males and the females. And it uses all of our fears, all of our desires to control us, to stay in control of us. The number one is survival, to not get dead. So it threatens our very life. And that's what's been happening with me periodically and to a high degree the last few days. Because I've realized I need to make a stand, because the extraterrestrials told me that I'm the Christ in the book of Revelations, which means then that book must have some validity to it from visions given to same extraterrestrials that are giving me the visions. You see? And they don't only speak Christianity, they speak all the religions. So I don't know what's going on in the other religions. And, I'm surrounded by Mormons or agnostic atheists, spiritual but not religious. A few Christians other than LDS. So it's largely the Judeo-Christian God wanting me to surrender to it. And it's the matchmaker. Is there any difference from that God and Satan? I don't think so. I think it's the same critter, just different hat. So what it's trying to rule the females with, that I'm seeing, is that because I don't want to play, and they're supposed to, there's like they don't have to take any crap if I play, because I'm playing, so I get the crap from playing. You get it? And I don't want to play, so they can't give me any crap. And so it's like this tyrant ruler is going to take away their sexuality from them. It's telling them something like that. So they're very betrayed and they're very angry. It's like they got taken in a con scheme, not knowing what the consequences would be. So this happened a week ago where I didn't want to be sexually flirting with the girl. And so the message I'm getting telepathically is that she has to die now. So now they will end her life. So it's like I got this message today along those lines, and it's from my higher power in a trickster mode, sarcasm. So I could see what she was getting at. She brought this to my attention again. If I don't want to play, then people are going to die because I don't want to play. That's absurd. So the threats from this thing are very real. I know, because it's threatening to kill me because I won't surrender. And it's very realistic. It's like they're telling me, here he comes, and I've experienced this thought that he's coming, and somebody's like looking at the door, and then everybody's like upset, nervous from that thought. And nothing happens. And today it was that it's Christ that's on the way, and Christ is going to kick me out because I won't surrender. No, I'm the only Christ, because the extraterrestrials told me so. So where is this other character that is playing Christ, that's claiming to be the Christ, the only one? Because we hear all the time there's only one. There's only one Christ on the planet. So is what happened today is a cult, Yogi Bhajan was defeated. And he's an abusive cult leader. I talked about this in a previous video. And my higher power is telling me to make another video right now. And don't back down from claiming I'm the only Christ. And don't back down from cursing the Republicans. Leave it there. I'm thinking, should I take that down? She's like, no, don't take it down. Leave it. Then I hear from Ron DeSantis that he's threatening to slit throats of the dark federalists. I'm a federalist, as opposed to a state is superior to federal government. I don't like that, because I'm in a religion state where if I didn't have federal protection, I would have to leave the state, because I would not live in a state that's ruled by the LDS religion. So Ron DeSantis is threatening to slit throats of people, and he's talking about killing stone cold dead all the cartel drug dealers. Well, it's the prohibition effect of the war on drugs and not having drugs legal and regulated by experts in the field, so that, other countries in Europe, that's how they do it, and it works great. The suicides are gone and the crime's gone, and they're given like psychological counseling, so that we can get to the root of what your pain about. You must have got done wrong really bad, and that's what it's about. When I went to see the counselor, they sent me to see the counselor, and the counselor explains it's usually the one that gets sent in that's the most healthy, or something to that effect. Or he said it in a different way, like the family is sicker than the individual that gets sent in. Because the psychologists know this about family structure. So it's because of religion. I'm looking into where did the laws come from, because I made a post about the broken system of laws that we have, and it's just a racket for wealthy, powerful people to make more money. They don't care how many appeals there are and so forth. And it's really tragic what it's doing to the average person, to the people of planet Earth, to the people of the USA. So the first laws was about if you curse God, it's a death sentence. The first laws written in the USA was prior to the Constitution. It was Plymouth, I think, people. And they were theocracy. If you curse your parents, death sentence. It said that nobody actually got put to death, but you would be put in the blocks for other. Lying in public was a offense where you'd have to pay so much money or spend 2 hours in the blocks. Now, lying in public might not be a bad idea, or lying in private, I don't care which. But we're getting hurt from unfair lies. I'm not against all lies. Sometimes we have to lie, and we have secrets. I have changed my mind completely on the secrecy issue from when I was younger. So I was thinking secrecy, there's no need for secrecy, and I totally don't believe that anymore. So the Law of Fairness Agreement and the World Human Fairness Agreement that go together, they're in the same deal. So now they're in the menu, in the same menu item. The Law of Fairness Agreement on the website. thewayoffairness.com. Very simple. So we want exoneration for everybody when we make this world agreement. So everybody's let off the hook. And everyone's completely forgiven because we were born into this world of unfairness. So we did things that we wouldn't have done if we were in a world of fairness. When you're living in a criminal world, and you almost have to be criminal to survive. See, this is like Trump's thinking in his law breaking. It's a criminal world, so I have to be criminal to survive here. And so if we do the way of fairness idea, the law of fairness is implemented, and everybody's let off the hook, the billionaires that could be prosecuted for, say, like arms deals or something like that, where they've made money in corporations that have harmed the planet or whatever, climate damage, lawsuits and things like that. Like if the Democrats get in power, they're really afraid of something like that happening to them. So that would not be the case. I know there are Democrats that are also unfair. I know that. It's not just Republicans that are unfair. But the entire Republican platform, I cursed it because they need to change it drastically. It's killing us. It's killing people. It might start a civil war that kills many American people. You know, the Civil War we had, it killed more people, more Americans were killed in that war than any other war. And that was a long time ago when our population was much smaller. So if the people like Putin and Trump, for example, they're exonerated for supporting the law of fairness agreement and helping us make it happen. The leaders of Israel, say, for example, the revolt gets really bloody and they get the guillotine out like they did in France, for example. You know, use your imagination. So the right wing will want to support this because they're exonerated. And after that, their job is to make everything fair, for fairness for everyone and fairness from everyone. Both. So that's why I'm seeing, you know, it's like they knew I was going to come up with this idea. It's really weird because they told me in dreams that my writing was going to be very valuable. I didn't even know it was my writing yet until I figured it out 20 years later. Oh, it was my writing they're talking about that's valuable. And like, what is it? What is it? And I'm thinking, oh, it's the way of fairness idea. That's what this is all about. That's what saves the world. So they told me I was the savior because I was they know the future. If you don't know that about these extremely advanced extraterrestrials, then it doesn't make sense. But if you know, they already know. And so I feel like I'm just being tested by all kinds of adversity, and it's just a joke, and so I don't even react to it. I don't respond. And if I do feel a twinge of anger or a little bit of emotion from the insults or whatever, I just promptly surrender and give the problem to the higher power for victory over the problem. And the higher power decides if they're going to punish someone or not, you know. They just want us to stop doing each other wrong. See, they don't want us in their universe if we can't get along as people, as humans, and if we can't even stop fighting each other. We would not be safe to have around with them. We're too crazy.